But let's get to the big story on AER today, which is that Prime Minister Modi will be heading to the United States for a 3-day state visit. This starts on Tuesday, so a lot of focus really on that and a lot of focus on defense ahead of that as well. US President Joe Biden is set to conduct high-level talks with the Prime Minister as well. So Parikshit is really here with all of the details that we have on the key agenda behind this meet. Parikshit, take us through what we should watch.
Well, this meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Biden has been touted as historic, unprecedented, a visit that will be high on celebration, but will also have a lot of hard work. Those were the words of US NSA Jake Sullivan, who was in India just last week. Now, what we can expect, the Prime Minister will be there in the United States on 21st, 22nd and 23rd. He will be there for 3 days and 3 nights. On the first day, he will receive a ceremonial welcome at the White House. This will be around 7:30 p.m. India time. He will have a high-level meeting with President Biden. There will be a bilateral meeting, which will be one-on-one. There will be a delegation-level talks as well. On the same day, he addresses the U.S. Congress, that is on the 22nd. He will also be part of a state dinner that will be hosted by President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden on the 23rd evening. He will be addressing a diaspora event. All of this begins with the Yoga Day that happens at the UN headquarters in New York on the 21st. So 21st morning, we will see Prime Minister at the UN headquarters kicking off Yoga Day celebrations across the world from the UN headquarters. And it's from 22nd onwards that his meetings with President Biden really begin. And we believe that both leaders will spend an unprecedented amount of time together. There will be a lot of business meetings, a lot of high-profile CEOs from the semiconductor industry, defense industry, and the US manufacturing industry who will also be calling on the Prime Minister.
Okay, Parikshit got that. So, Pavitra, I hope you've got your yoga pants ready, right? For the 21st, we have to take a leaf from Prime Minister Modi's books. But Parikshit, you know, you've set the agenda out very nicely for us. Now, let's talk about that big deal, which you've been tracking for so many weeks, right? And you've been telling us about this mega engine deal between GE and Hindustan Aeronautics. So, what more do we know in terms of things like tech transfer, size, execution, etc.?
Well, this will really be the big-ticket announcement from the Prime Minister's visit. It's been in the works for over 6 months now. Remember, in the month of February, the Indian National Security Advisor Ajit Doval has visited the United States and met Jake Sullivan, the US NSA. That was the first time there was talk about a GE deal for co-production with an Indian counterpart. We believe this has now been cleared at the highest political level by both sides. Now, what will this entail? This will entail co-production of the GE jet engine, which will power our fighter aircraft, including the Tejas program for the future. All of this will be manufactured here in India. Koraput, which is HAL's engine unit, is being considered as one of the locations. What will be the kind of technology transfer we're getting? We're told that we have been able to get a substantial deal from the United States in terms of tech transfer. We will get up to 80% technology transfer over the next 3 years. Our sources tell us that after the signing of the deal, India and US will begin the process of getting the manufacturing equipment. Essentially, HAL will start buying the equipment needed in the engine production factory. All of this will be procured from GE. The manufacturing and the tech transfer will happen in phases. So by the end of 3 years, this is what we've been told, that 80% of the value addition to the jet engine will happen in India. So the defense industry, the government, saying that this is absolutely unprecedented, be it the United States, UK or France, none of them have this kind of a relationship or technology transfer of this magnitude. We're also told by our sources of the defense industry, and that's why we will see a positive impact on many defense stocks as well, because the government believes that 600 to 700 Indian MSMEs could benefit from the jet engine supply chain over the next 3 years. So all in all, a good deal. At the same time, we're learning that many enabling mechanisms, such as mechanisms to guarantee procurements of parts from the United States, reciprocal procurement of defense components, those agreements will also be signed to make sure that there is no kind of loophole, regulatory hurdle or import-export hurdle when it comes to transfer of components when we need them in times of crisis.
Got that, Parikshit, and that's why the entire value chain, I mean, at least on the listed side, all of these stocks are so excited. I just want to take an example of a stock like Midhani. By the way, Parikshit, thank you very much for giving us all of the details, and Parikshit has been following that story exclusively for several weeks and months now, that big mega deal between HAL and GE. Pull up a stock like Midhani, Mishra Dhatu. Now, that makes a certain high-grade steel that goes into some of these defense equipments, the aircrafts that we're talking about. And just look at the excitement around some of these stocks, 7.5% there. Pavitra was mentioning certain other names earlier. HAL itself is up about 1.5%. You've got Paras Defense, the entire lot. Mazgaon, anything that has anything to do with defense, everything that has anything to do with defense is really up and about. That is the big story on the show today. We'll take a quick break on that note. On the other side, we will put the spotlight on, of course, the commodities universe. Today, we are talking natural gas with Manisha. She will tell us all the factors that are at play.